Nothing I won't do. If it leads me here to
Who is it that gives this woman to be married to this man?
Her mother and I.
All right. No kissy yet.
Excited.
You go right now. Did you memorize it?
No. I had to bring myself on. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I can bring myself on.
Nothing like an impromptu, you know. You want to look it up?
I have it in my cell phone.
Oh, we'll go get it.
Okay.
From the book of John. And so we know and rely on the love of God has for us. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God and God in them. This is how love is made complete among us, so we will have confidence on the day of judgment. In this world, we are like Jesus. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears is not made in perfect love. We love because he first loved us.
From the Song of Solomon. Set me as your seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm, for love is as strong as death. Jealousy is as fierce as the grave. Its flashes are flashes of fire, the very flame of the Lord. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can floods drown it. If a man offered for love all the wealth of his house, he would be utterly despised.
Thank you. So David and Mckenna, it's easy to say words, right?
Yes, sir.
It's easy to say words. It's quite another thing to honor the words we say, to keep our word, yet that's what we're here to do today. And with the power of God in your lives, and we've had some spiritual conversations, but with the power of God in y'all's lives, we know that you can keep your vows to each other. To do so, it's important to realize the seriousness of the vows that you're going to be exchanging in just a moment. And what you promise here today, really, it's something that you have to renew, not only tomorrow, but the next day, and the next day, and every day for the rest of your lives. You see, real love is more than just a feeling. It's more than just what we're experiencing here today. It's a commitment to sacrifice, a commitment to love. It's a commitment to give and to sacrifice unconditionally for one another. It's the very love shown to us by Jesus himself by giving up his life on the cross. In fact, the Bible draws a parallel between marriage and the love Jesus has for his bride, the church. And the relationship that God intends for you to share is one of voluntary, mutual submission to each other. David, the husband, is to lay down his life for his wife, just as Jesus loved the church and gave himself up for her. Mckenna, the wife, is to gladly give herself to her husband just as God's people gave themselves to Christ. And I recently found myself thinking about, as I was preparing for today, thinking about what would I tell my younger, maybe stupid self before I got married. And I think that the thing that really came to mind was that conflict is inevitable, but combat is optional. And so one of the things that I didn't learn early enough, but I learned these words, and I'm hoping that maybe you use them. These words, when disagreements arise, if the Lord grants you children and the babies don't sleep and you're tired and you're all irritable with one another, that when things are challenging, that you would say these things when you get into one of those type of situations. You say, I love you too much to argue with you. Can you do that, David?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you do that, Mckenna?
I'll try.
You'll try. We said it's easy to say, it's quite another thing to do. But listen to this kind of love as we read about it in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. It says this, and I'm going to read them a little bit slow on purpose just so we can digest it and not just brush it away. God's word says this, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. And it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but it rejoices with the truth. And it always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails. And it's this kind of love, the kind of love that can only come from God, that both of you must have to honor and keep your vows to one another. And before David and Mckenna say those vows, they would like to participate in a branding ceremony where they're going to symbolize that, yes, they come here today as two individuals, but they're also going to become one. And so that's what we're going to do right now. It's okay. You can finish it. You can finish it later. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Tiene que traerlo. No, Alejandro. Marta, tiene que traerlo.
Yeah, no, you're good because we're going to get the other one. Where do you want it? Wherever. Bring it.
Good job. Come out here in front of me a little bit. Yeah, it's all good. Nobody's going to remember that part. So David, realizing the seriousness of the commitment and the vows that you are about to exchange, do you wish to take Mckenna as your wife?
I do.
Then repeat your vow to her after me. I, David,
I, David,
take you, Mckenna,
take you, Mckenna,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to share life with you in God's plan of marriage.
to share God with you in life's plan of marriage.
I promise to love you,
I promise to love you,
honor you,
honor you,
and cherish you,
and cherish you,
and be faithful to you
and be faithful to you
in sickness or health,
in sickness or health,
poverty and wealth,
poverty and wealth,
in good times or bad times.
in good times or bad times.
So here's the thing, David. I'm a simple guy. I've got 2 daughters of my own. I was just talking with Mr. Michael a little while ago. And you know, one of the greatest concerns of a father, and any parent really, is to know that their daughter is going to marry a man who does what he says he's going to do. He's going to keep this commitment here today. Am I right, parents? Yes. And so this is a big thing. This is a very big commitment. It is, because here's the thing. I think it's the job of every father to put the fear of God in our son-in-laws. Y'all know what I'm saying? Just say yes. No, I'm just kidding, but not really. But you are pledging that you're going to serve Mckenna all the days of her life. And I just want to share this with you. Everything worthwhile is always uphill. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be challenges. Like I said, when the Lord blesses you with children, that's just a bonus. You know, you're going to grow so much in the next few years. But there's also going to be some challenging times. There's no, ask anybody who's been married for a little while. It's just part of it. But the commitment today is that no matter what happens, you're making a commitment before us here today and before God and your family that y'all are going to stick it out no matter what. Mckenna, realizing the seriousness of the vows which you're about to make, do you wish to now take David as your husband?
I do.
Then I want you to repeat after me.
Hang on. All right, you can continue.
Okay. Then I want you to repeat after me. I, Mckenna,
I, Mckenna,
take you, David,
take you, David,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to share life with you
to share life with you
in God's plan of marriage.
in God's plan of marriage.
I promise to love you,
I promise to love you,
honor and cherish you,
honor and cherish you,
and be faithful to you
and be faithful to you.
in sickness or health,
And in sickness or in health,
poverty or wealth,
poverty or wealth,
in good times or bad
in
times.
good times or bad times.
David, do you have the rings? Let me see. Let me see at least one. So, David, this ring is symbolic. It represents an unending circle of love for Mckenna. As such, it symbolizes the unending love or the unending faithfulness and love from a husband to his wife. And I want you to place it on Mckenna's hand, and then you'll repeat after me. David, I want you to repeat after me. With this ring,
I thee wed,
and pledge my life to you,
and pledge my life to you,
and to submit to you, out of reverence for Christ. What's mine is yours,
What's mine is yours,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
Mckenna, this ring also represents an unending circle of love, and it symbolizes this unending faithfulness and love from a wife to her husband. Please place it on David's finger. And repeat after me. With this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed,
I thee wed,
and pledge my life to you,
and pledge my life to you,
and to submit to you,
and to submit to you,
out of reverence for Christ.
out of reverence for Christ.
What's mine is yours,
What's mine is yours,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
Gentlemen, would you remove your hats and pray with me? Father, what a beautiful day. For many reasons, Lord, for family, for friends, for Mckenna and David that bring us here. I mean, I hope they feel the love that's here today for them, the support that's here for them. God, and we just ask that as they are faithful to you, that if they run hard after you, Lord, I believe in 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 30, I believe it's true that you honor those who honor you. And I just pray, Lord, that as they honor you in their marriage, and if kids should come down the road with their family, God, that you would honor them because you promised that. Father, we just say we love you, we thank you, in Jesus' name, amen. And now, by the authority given to me by God and the laws of this great state of Texas, I now pronounce you as husband and wife. David, you may kiss your bride. Allow me to be the first to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. David Ruskowski.
That is deeper than the ocean, raging to the sound of us. whisper of the wind, calling us to something. What if we set out upon the waters, sail till we lose sight of shore? The light and the wilderness, you alone my confidence, ready for it all. This is who we are, this is where it starts. The rush of the unknown, awakening these untamed hearts, reaching out beyond our hesitations, knowing how we've come so far. The light and the wilderness, we were made for all of this. You alone my confidence, ready for it all. This is who we are, and this is where it starts. This is where it starts. This is where it starts. This is where it starts.
For all of you who I haven't had the pleasure to meet yet, my name is Graham. I married David's oldest sister, Alexandra. She's also the most beautiful and smartest of David's 4 sisters, but that's between us. This is also the first time I'm going to speak in English to a crowd like you guys, so please bear with me. If I start making less sense than a bull riding a bull wearing ballerina shoes, then just smile, nod, and pretend I said a funny joke. Being in Brandon for the first time has been nothing short of magical. The charm of this town, with its sprawling wildflowers and picturesque streets, is a perfect. Hey man. It's a perfect setting for such a joyous occasion. And speaking of joy, I must extend my heartfelt thanks to Michael and Casey, the Schulte family and friends, for making us feel at home from the moment we arrived. Your warmth and hospitality have truly made Brenham feel like a home away from home for us. They say you should never meet your heroes. David met me when he was 12. Despite the age gap and the fact that I look up to him, literally, somehow we hit it off. From the start, he quickly became like a little brother to me. The little brother I never asked for, but got anyway. David's idea of a fun day might involve more mud and animals that I prefer. My idea of outdoor activities involves Bloody Marys and beer pong. Yet, here we are. David's early adventures are like a family legend, more of a family legend. Imagine young David sneaking out of the house, not for parties or late night shenanigans, but to attend illegal, high-stake world cockfighting. Armed with nothing but a feisty rooster and dreams of victory. When I asked him, David, why what?
The fuck up.
Why were you drawn to such a unique hobby? And he said, because in the world of chickens, every day is an adventure, and I'm all about the thrill. Then came Mckenna, the wonderful and beautiful girl from Texas. And she said, yep, that's my kind of cowboy. Mckenna shared David's passion for the land and animals, although she probably negotiated a strict no roosters in the living room on the contract. Their love story is one for the books, proving that when two people with a shared love for the simple and profound find each other, magic happens. So as we all gather here to toast to David and Mckenna, let's remember that marriage, like a good farm, needs love, laughter, and a bit of patience. Because sometimes you plant potatoes and get tulips, and that's okay. That's life. Everyone, please raise your glass to David and Mckenna, who today start their biggest adventure. May your lives be filled with happiness, your arguments be short and sweet, and your love grow stronger with each passing day. Here's to a future as bright as a high noon in Texas. Cheers.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kendall Smidovic. Will you? Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kendall Smidovic, or as Mckenna, David, Nathan, and Mr. Moogie like to call me, Kendra. And I'm lucky enough to call myself one of Mckenna and David's best friends and had the honor of standing next to Mckenna today as one of her maids of honor. Now, when preparing for this speech, I went to the place with all the answers nowadays, TikTok. But every example I could find was the maid of honor giving relationship advice. And now, obviously, with my experience, I have no business giving anyone relationship advice. So instead, what I will do for you two tonight is tell you what I hope for y'all. I hope y'all have the most amazing time this evening. I hope y'all feel so loved and cared for as each guest here is in here for the celebration of y'all's love. I hope y'all continue to show up for each other physically, mentally, and emotionally. I hope y'all receive a rainbow with every storm. I hope you continue to nurture each other's dreams and ambitions. I hope you continue to raise some damn good Brahmin cattle. And I hope you know, had to include that, hope you know how extraordinary it is to fall deeper in love with the same person each day for the rest of your life. And I hope you see God's hands and love spread across y'all's marriage today. Thank you. Now, before I end my speech, I want you to... Can you hold it? Now, before I end my speech, I want to say thank you to the beautiful couple. Mckenna, it's hard for me to begin this portion of my speech, really, because it's hard to put a friendship like ours into words. Now, whether Mrs. Mckenna Ruskowski is aware of this or not, I truly find her to be heaven sent. I say this because McKenna's and I's friendship really started to grow at one of the hardest points in my life. I'd moved home from school and was very uncertain about the next steps. Thank you. Hold on. Okay. What the next steps looked like, and really was needing some positivity. And for anyone that knows our bride, you know she radiates positivity. She makes anyone feel included and loved, and that quality has sadly become rare. Mckenna, it's not what you are that makes you so special, but rather how you make all those around you feel that is. So Mckenna, thank you for being a constant in my life. Thank you for always picking up the phone, offering a shoulder to cry on or a hand to help aid in anything I've needed. Your light and energy is something I think everybody could benefit from having just an ounce of. Mckenna, you look absolutely stunning tonight, and might I say, David, you are one lucky man. I mean, can I hear it for the bride? McKenna, you deserve that praise and more, and I love you, Mrs. Ruskowski. Now, Patron. Thank you, David, for taking care of my best friend and providing her with such happiness and genuine love. I can remember McKenna beaming as she told me about you before you came to Brenham. I'm so fortunate to have gained your crazy self as a best friend, and I cannot wait to watch the next chapters in y'all's lives unfold. I mean, let's be honest, Dave, Mike and Casey need a damn break after all those years. Sadly, I think, Mike, you gained another one. You didn't lose one, you gained one. No, but in all seriousness, I couldn't think of a better man for Mckenna, and I know you will continue to stop at nothing to provide her with everything she needs. Now, whether or not you're aware of how long that list is going to grow to be, buddy, you can handle it. And I know that you will strive to exceed every expectation. Now, I only ask you to make me one promise. Cuida siempre de mi chica, por favor.
Siempre.
And I love you, Dave. I hope y'all two have the time of y'all's lives tonight. And everyone, if you will join me in raising y'all's glass, and please let it not be your last because the booze is on mic tonight. To the Ruskowskis.
Hi, for those of you who do not know, I'm McKenna's cousin, Blake. McKenna, you look absolutely stunning tonight. Y'all are supposed to cheer. Thank you. And I'll start by telling y'all about how McKenna and David met. As per McKenna fashion, it was a cow show. And she was not giving David the time of day at all. And here we are years later. Then David, of course, knows our bride so well and exceeded her expectations by proposing at the place that started it all, a cow show. It has been so much fun getting to watch them grow and bring out the best in each other. Life is all about the people we choose to love, and I have no doubt you both have chosen perfectly. Thank you for teaching me all about Brahmins more than I'll ever need to know. Cheers to a lifetime of happiness and beautiful memories together. To Mr. and Mrs. Ruskowski. Welcome to the family, David.
Thank you, brother.
So, first off, I want to thank everybody that's here tonight because we have a long list of friends. And if you're here tonight, you're on the top of that list. And we love every one of y'all. And y'all are very special in our place, in our hearts. And we appreciate every one of y'all taking your time out of your days to be here today with us to celebrate with David and Mckenna. And we love all of y'all just like part of the family. So hopefully tonight y'all had a good time. But, whenever this relationship first started, it started at the national show in Rosenberg a few years back, and I didn't get to make it there. We came back from the deer lease, dropped Mckenna and Keaton off, and Casey was setting up the cattle, and we came back, and Casey said, and this nice young man showed up at our stall, and he helped us set up our entire stall and just helped us the whole time we were here. And but that's the first, so he is a pretty good hand at setting up stalls. But I think he had a pretty good reason to set up the stalls because McKenna is pretty special. And McKenna, she always thought all along that she couldn't find the person that she loved, and she was real self-oriented, but when she met David, she really did fall head over heels in love with David. So I know this is a special, special relationship, and I know David's family, everyone that I've met in his family has been so special and so nice and kind, and I know they're a great family, and I know he comes from good stock. So if you breed cattle, you know that genetics have a play and a part in the end. So I think she's found a really good man, and I love David as one of my own, and I just love them to death, and I think they're a great couple, and I love them, and I'm not going to try to embarrass them, but I'm so happy they got together, and I'm so happy all of y'all are here to celebrate it, and salute.